So now that we have our schedule posted, we've renamed our course, we want to make it so that our students can navigate our course with the push of a button. We don't want them to have to hunt for anything. We want it to be very simple. Just click on the thing and then get to that thing. So we are going to make buttons. Now, I have already designed my buttons. I've already made that happen. I'm going to show you how to do that in a different video, but for right now, here are my buttons. So those are already made. That's good for us. I'm just going to drag this all the way to the side. It's going to split my screen, and this works on any computer that is not a Mac. I don't know if it works on a Mac, so I can't promise you that outcome. And then I can just drag this little mid bar here to be whatever I need it to be. So I want these to be links. Right now, they are just pictures. So that means that I have to make some of the places that I'm going to link them to. Obviously, for lesson plans, if you use OneDrive to store your lesson plans or you use Planbook to store your lesson plans, those are external sites you're just going to link to. You'll just go copy and paste that link, and there you go. But for things like video recordings or extra sites and resources or the class link, all of those things we need to make inside Schoology. So, first thing I want to make is our class link. So, I'm going to come down here to Teams Quick Meet and I'm going to create a meeting link. All right. So, I'm going to name this homeroom meeting and I'm going to create it. And it's going to make everything that I need for a Teams meeting within Schoology. Never have to leave Schoology. And it's going to pop up with this little page and it's going to give me all the meeting creation stuff I need. So I can copy all of this and add that to my calendar because I live off of my calendar, so it must be in Outlook. But I'm also going to come right here and I'm going to click on this, click to this, join this meeting. And I'm going to copy that link address, okay? Because I need that. Now, I'm going to come back over here to materials and I'm going to do this in a couple of steps. And I'm just going to keep going back and editing that same page because that makes my life easier. So I'm going to make that page first. So I'm going to add my materials and I'm going to add a page, right like that. And I want to name this course links. And just like we did with our daily schedule, I'm going to go ahead and hit this display on new page to make it say display inline. And then I am going to insert a picture, insert content. I'm going to insert image and media, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick up my class link. So I'm just going to drag it over and you can drag it over. Sometimes mine is a little finicky because you have to wait till it turns green to drop it. Otherwise it opens as a new tab. So you can drag and drop if you want to. I'm just going to click attach file and then it's going to open and I'm going to hit class link right there. I keep this open so I know what I'm making. Once that's open, it is beautiful. I would like it to be just a little bit bigger so that it's very clearly visible. And then I'm going to come right here to inline link. All right. And I am not using course materials. I'm using that Teams link. So I'm going to control V, that Teams link that I just copied. And I want to open that link in a new tab because, like, we are not going to close out Schoology every time we go to class. Like, that is going to be way too much work. So open link in that new tab and then save changes. There you go. And then I'm going to create that page. That page is created for me. Now, every time that I need to go back, I'm just going to edit that page. All right. The next thing that I need to add after my class link is I'm going to add my class resources. Now, here's the thing. My class resources are all the things that my students need or my parents need in order to be successful in my course. So these are not things that are found outside of Schoology. They're things that I've made or I've found that I've put into Schoology for them to access. So that means I have to make a place for them to live. So I'm going to come up here to add materials and I'm going to add a folder. And I'm going to name this course resources. Um, I always make two main folders in my Schoology class. I make course resources and I make week by week content. And then I hold everything within those two folders so that my page still stays nice and neat and clean because that makes me happy. So I'm in a green mood, so I'm going to make it green because I can. And then I'm going to make another folder and I'm going to make that my week by week content. Right like that. And I want that to be purple. So Purple it is. All right, and then I've got those two. Now I'm going to go into my course resources and I am going to add some of the things that my students could possibly need. So we record our classes. I have always recorded my classes when they were on Teams or on Zoom, so that if a student was absent, they could reaccess that learning. So I always make a folder for those so that they can be stored in Schoology. So video recordings, and I always just make this a rainbow, so that one's red. And then I'm going to make a little folder for I found that amusing because I like to share funny things with my students that they might enjoy. And again, rainbow, so it's orange. And then sometimes, you just don't get to get deep enough into what you wanted to do. So I always provide a little place for extra sites and resources so that if we were learning about something really cool and my kids wanted to keep going, but we just did not have time in class, these are some things that are going to talk about the same topic, just take it a little deeper. So they can enjoy that if they would like. Um, I am also going to include in here a little contact me page, all the ways that they can contact me, and I don't need that to be a folder. I lied, I need that to be a page. And I will upload my image on that page in a little bit. So we're just going to make that page as a placeholder right now. And then for me, my office hours, my grade page, my class link, and my lesson plans are all external links. So they don't actually need a folder. However, if you want to, you can include um, anything that you want. So I'm going to go ahead and put lesson plans in here because there's a chance that I might just need need to put my lesson plans in here. So there you go. So that is what I need for my course resources. And then I'm going to come back over here. And typically, what you're going to do for your week by week content is you're going to make week by week content for the entire school year because it's easier to link them once than to try to do it like every week. You're not going to give all of those to the kids immediately because that's very overwhelming, but we can go ahead and make them so that our work is already done for us and we can just add to it as we go. So I'm going to do that. In our county, we started back second semester. I'm just going to focus on the spring semester right now. Obviously, hopefully, you would have had this for fall and spring, but we're in spring, so we're just going to stay in spring. So I'm going to add a folder for every week. And what this does, and the reason that I like this, is this allows me to, if I had a student that was out for a specific amount of time, give them a very specific place to look to find the lessons or the assignments that they missed during that time that they were out. So it makes it easier for them to find it. It makes it easier for me to tell them where to go. And it also makes it easier for parents to kind of see what's going on. Like this week we're doing this, next week we're doing that. So I really like this layout. It makes it much easier for communication for me. So to name these, I do it by week. So this would be week one, but I also add dates. So this week one for us was January 9th through January 13th. And so I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to make it again. I like rainbows, so I'm going to make it a rainbow. And then I'm going to create my folder right like that. Alrighty. So I'm just going to finish that out real quick, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, these are made through week 9 now. And the other option that you have, and one of my favorite things to do is because this is super tedious to make, like super tedious to make. And I don't want to type this every single time. So if I'm going to set this up for multiple classes, I'm going to set this up for my English class and my math class and my social studies class and my science class. I don't want to have to type this in every time. So I am going to go back to my sandbox course where I have like the whole folder, my week by week content. I'm going to come here to the gear shift and I am going to save that to resources. And I'm going to put that into my home collection. I don't need a folder. It is a folder and I'm going to save a copy. Now, the only downside to this is it does not save your color preferences. So when you color code your files, you have to reset that, but you still don't have to type everything, which I count as a win. So that is wonderful. And we love that for us. Now, I have my week by week content. I've got all 9 folders that I need for up through spring break. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those links in. Now, the way that I like to do this is to open multiple copies of this page so that I can edit the course links page right here while I am copying those links. So I don't have to like close it and go back and close it and go back and close it and go back. I can just split my screen and call it a day. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click my course links page. I'm going to right click that and I'm going to open it in a new tab. And as you can see, I now have my course links page right there. And I'm going to open that to edit it. And then I am going to just start adding the pages that I need. So I'm going to add my image and I'm going to attach file. And I am just going to pick everything that I want. I'm just going to go step by step and add everything that I want. And it's going to pop it right there. And then I'm going to move it because I want them to be side by side. And I'm going to add a little space between them because like they need to be. And I'm going to try to make those sizes match because otherwise it super bothers me. And I'm just going to keep repeating that process. So attach file, I just did lesson plans and I'm going to add video recordings now. And it's going to pop it up right there. I'm going to move it and then I'm going to try to make it the same size because that makes me happy. And we're just going to keep doing that. All right, and now that we have all of the images that we're going to provide to students right now uploaded, what we're going to do is we're going to get those links. So I've got both of my pages open. I'm again just going to drag it over to the side and it's going to give me a split link right like that, which is exactly what I want. You can see that it's got all of my pages expanded here, and then I have my pages here. So I'm going to come over here to video recordings. I'm going to right click and it's going to open this little pop-up menu. And then I am going to click copy link address. And then I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to find that tile and I'm going to hit link. Now you have a couple of options. This is the way that I have historically done this because this was not always an option. This where it's giving you course materials. However, now that they have made it an option, your other choice is instead of copying and pasting, Control V, there you go, save changes. Your other option is just to click on the page, go to link, course materials, and then we're just going to go find what we're looking for. So I found that amusing. Select and then save changes. And then lesson plans, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to inline link, course materials, course resources, lesson plans. There you go. And it'll show you the link. For contact me, I'll show you how to do an external source. Class resources, we're going to do the same thing. Again, we're going to go to course details. Now, I want to just do the whole folder because sometimes kids know like, hey, I am looking for something but I don't know what that is. It's probably in course resources, so I just give them a link to the whole folder so that they can just kind of poke through and see what else what all we have. So course resources, select, there you go, save your changes. And then office hours is a live Teams link. Contact Me is a live site link. And then Skyward or Infinite Campus, depending on the county that you're in, is how grades are shared. So that's also going to be a live link to an external site. Now we're going to come down here to our week by week content. I only give my kids 4 weeks at a time. I don't really give them more than that because I don't want them to be overwhelmed. And at the end of week 4, I upload week 5 through 8 or 5 through 9 because like it's 9-week periods. So it's not really perfectly even. So usually I'll give them 4. Sometimes I'll do 1 through 5. Sometimes I'll do 1 through 4 and then 5 through 9. It really just depends on how your lessons are breaking. But same exact process. We're going to click on that image. We're going to go to inline link. We're going to course materials, and then we're going to go to week by week content, and it's week 1. So we just need week 1, and I need to click on that little bullet right there, and then it'll be bright so it gets clickable. And then week 2, same thing, inline link, and we're going to week by week content, and this is week 2. Save, and then week 3. And I'm going to leave week 4 unlinked so that I can show you what happens when it's not linked. It's nothing tragic, but like your kids are going to be like, it's not working. So just so that you can see that if you need it. All right, so we've done all of our links. Here is what our beautiful page looks like. And now we're going to go back to pages or back to our our course here. Click on materials. There you go. And it's going to load super slow because my computer doesn't like doing a bunch of things at once, which is what I'm making it do. As you can see, 4 is going to be too much. It's not going to hold 4, which is sad because that makes me much happier when it does. So we're just going to go hit edit, and then we're just going to rearrange it so that it is breaking at 3 instead of 4. And that's okay. And it's not a big deal. So to do that, I'm just hitting enter and rearranging it. And I'm going to do the same thing down here so that it just goes to 3. And if you want to, I'm sure that you can think of another button that your kids would benefit from having or your parents would benefit from having. And if you want to, again, you can do it by 6s, you can do it by 3s, whatever you need to make it feel good for you. For me, I'm still going to stay with 4. I'm just going to space this over so that it's centered. That is the extent of what I'm going to worry about there. Then I'm going to hit save changes. And we're going to look at it, and that looks better. I'm going to need some more spaces there, obviously, but you can play with this until it looks how you want it to look. So that is how we make buttons. And then when your kids are trying to get somewhere, they just go click, and it will take them to that folder. So I clicked on week 1, and now I'm in week 1. And I want my course links to be above my daily schedule. So I'm just going to drag my daily schedule down because I would like them to click on the things before the schedule. But it is up to you how you want to set this up as long as your kids can easily navigate what they need. Now, for self-contained classrooms that have English, math, science, and social studies all together, you are probably not going to need to have all of these. Instead, you'll need to have a link to English, and you'll link the whole Schoology page for your English class, or you'll link the whole math page for your math class. Your other option, and what you can do, is to have it so that when you click into week 1, you have all of your math content in one place. So you make a folder for math and then you make a folder for English. I would not recommend doing this though because it's going to make syncing your grades into Infinite Campus not work. So I would just link to the actual course Schoology pages so that everything just kind of works. But you can absolutely copy and paste this page right here into every other course so that it all looks the same, it all looks unanimous, and it's the exact same class link for every single thing that they're going to get into. All right, and finally for the external sites, I made a little Google site for myself that shares a little bit about me, my contact information, all that kind of stuff. It is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that link and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to edit this page exactly the same way that we've been doing. And where it says contact me, I'm going to add that in there. And this will work for literally any any external link that you want to provide to your students. So I'm just going to control V that site in there, open that link in a new tab because again, I don't want to close Schoology every time they try to open something. And then I'm going to save that change and save the changes. And then when I click on contact me, it opens my site. Yay! So that is how to add an external site to your buttons. And now when your kids log in, this is exactly what they see. They have everything they could ever need for navigation.